Hello and welcome. Today we're going to unbox, set up, and use the extra heavy duty pistol grip grease gun from Lucas. Video Magic Go, unbox. Alright, so in the box you'll find these 2 wrenches, a set of instructions, some Teflon tape, and of course the grease gun itself. The instructions are pretty so-so, that might be why you're here. It's made by Pell Industrial out of Auburn, Washington, if you were wondering. So first thing you're going to do is want to unscrew the head from the tube here. And then once you get that done, just set the tube off to the side. You won't need it for a minute. First, we need to go ahead and attach the hose to the pistol grip head. So I'm going to pull out the Teflon tape here. It does also come with instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just in case you need them, they're here. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to cut a little piece of Teflon tape off, and then I'm going to use that to wrap around the threads. Wrap in a right-handed thread direction, or if it's facing you like it is me, in a clockwise direction. The reason being, if you do it that way, as you tighten it up, it's going to want to go in the same direction as the Teflon tape. If you wrap it in the wrong direction, then it's going to tend to unwind as you're tightening this up later. So once you've got a few wraps on there, you don't have to go crazy. Just make sure there's no Teflon tape that's going to get into the area where the grease is. So push that back a little bit. And then go ahead and start screwing it in. I'm going to speed this up for you because it takes a little bit. Okay, when you're done screwing them by hand, you're going to need a wrench to tighten. This is where these tiny wrenches come in. If you want to use them, use the 13mm side and go ahead and give that a tighten up. And I'll be honest, these tiny wrenches are a royal pain to use, so I'd recommend getting a real wrench. Here we go. Hey, a real wrench. Okay, so with the real wrench, you'll find a lot easier to give this some tightening and get it all nice and snug. And once you've done that, you're ready to go with the next part. Okay, next we're going to load the grease gun. So we're going to go ahead and pull the plunger back. So you push down on the release and pull the plunger all the way back. And then go ahead and get the grease of your choice for your application. In my case, I'm using Lucas Red and Tacky. What better fit for a Lucas Red pistol grip grease gun than Red and Tacky grease? So pull the cap off. If there's a little plastic holding the cap on, go ahead and take that off. And then we're going to load the cartridge into the grease gun. I'm just going to wipe off a little bit of the excess grease there, just to try and not make a huge mess. So load the side that had the cap on first. So you'll see, load it in like so. And then on the other side, you've got this kind of a soup can tab, or tennis ball tab if you get cans of tennis balls. So go ahead and open that up and take that off as well. And then of course, last but not least, take your head and screw it back on to the cylinder. And again, I'm going to speed this up because there's a lot of threads here. Alright, with the cylinder on, we're going to need to charge the grease gun, so we're going to need to put the T-handle and push it back in. So at the top here you have a vent, and you're going to need to push that down as you push the handle back in, and then also hold down on the catch. So push down on the vent and the catch, and then go ahead and push the handle in. So either grow a third arm, get a friend, or push the third handle in, pushing the handle on a table or something. And there you have it. We're basically set up. So we're going to go ahead and prime the gun. So remove this little ring. And then you're also going to need to pull this cap off. And then once you got that ready, go ahead and give it pumps until you start to see some grease come out, and then you'll know you've done a good job. Come on. Oh, there we go. So we are all set, but there is one more thing we need to discuss, and I think it has to do with a lot of the negative complaints on this gun is people don't necessarily understand how the tip works, so we're going to talk about that. So the other side of the wrench they gave you is a 15 millimeter, and you can use that to loosen or tighten the tension on this tip here. What that does is allows the grease gun to either clamp on more firm or less firm to your grease fittings. So more on that later when we go out and actually test it. But for now, basically for all intents, the grease gun is 100% set up. And on to a demonstration on a vehicle. So in this case, this is the upper control arm ball joint for this vehicle. We're going to get as much of this dirt and grime off of here as we can. Two reasons: one, to keep the grease gun clean, and then two, if you don't clean your grease fitting before you grease it, you're going to force dirt inside. With it all clean, I'm going to put the grease gun on, and I'm going to tighten it down just to make sure it doesn't pop off. And then once it's tight, then we're going to use the pistol grip and we're going to pump some grease in. And grease, according to whatever manufacturer's instructions you're doing, make sure you have the right kind of grease and you apply the right amount of grease. In this case, I'm just looking for this boot here to swell up just a little bit, so I know I got some grease inside there. After you're done greasing, you can loosen the tip of the grease gun and then pull it off. It's always a good idea, just like before we greased, to give the fitting a little bit of a wipe down, and that's to avoid getting more dirt in the area for the next time. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was helpful. Lots more tool reviews and car videos coming your way. Subscribe for more. Thanks, have a great day.